Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Carl Draper from Boxing Royalty, and we're going to be talking about the up and coming boxing shows, small hall really, and maybe a bit of yeah, just boxing in general, pretty much. Just put it that way.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. Still smashing them. The interviews.
Yeah, I've still got quite a few to upload.
Get uploading, boy. Get out there. Doing well.
Yes, thank you. And so
No worries.
what show should we talk about first?
Do them in order if you want. When's the first one you want to speak about?
Well, Alfie's fighting this weekend, isn't he?
Yes, at Tolworth. He's his first six rounder, isn't he? I see Alfie yesterday. It's a tough fight for him. I think he'll do it. I think he'll come through it well enough. But it's a good step in the right direction for him, definitely.
Yeah, because it's another person who's, well, kind of a prospect.
Yeah, the guy's had three fights and he's fought three journeymen.
Yeah, one win, one defeat, one draw.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Alfie didn't stop him, to be honest, especially on his last performance.
I think Alfie will stop him. I think round 3 or 4.
Yeah, I agree. Are you going?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll see you there then, mate.
yes, mate. Do you know what time Alfie's on?
I think he said he's on fourth, and it starts at 6:30, I think, or 6 o'clock. So probably seven, half seven.
Oh, so he's on fourth, did he say?
Yeah, just before the interval.
Ah, because last time, look, I don't think you were at his last fight. He was on
No,
at 9.
oh blimey, no! I went to the one where he knocked out Chris Wong.
Yeah, because Poochie was on the same night that night, wasn't he?
Yeah, man, like Poochie, battering people.
He's got his last, I think his last fight's on the 25th of March.
Ah, devastated. I can't make it either, so I'm just going to buy a ticket off him.
Mm.
He's a legend of the sport, greatest ever journeyman we've ever had, and probably the best we ever will have. He's done everything he's set out to do, and it's unfortunate that he don't want to carry on. But like he said, it's nearly 20 years as a boxer now, so fair play to him. I love him, my favourite fighter.
And I'm sure he'll end with a big knockout win.
Hopefully, I think that's the plan. I think obviously he's in his hometown, so he's going to go out and get the win. I'm not sure who he's fighting yet, but
I
I
think
don't
he
think
was
it
meant
matters
to
on the
fight
night.
Ryan Hibbert, but something's happened to him.
Yeah, I think he might be fighting Seamus Devlin, who's never been stopped.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so it should be good.
Yeah. But yeah, so should we talk about the Sky Show this weekend? Because you've got Anise Taj via Vidal Riley.
Yeah, good fight. Obviously, I spend a bit of time down jab. Anise is with Josh. They're confident. It's another step in the right direction for Vidal Riley as well. He's come through some tough opponents. Well, his last one was supposed to be in there for a while. Who did he fight? Ross McQuiggan. Shout out Luke Oakford. So yeah, I think there needs to be a good test for him, and then maybe Jamie Smith after that.
What, so you think the winner's going to fight Smith?
Hopefully, I think that's what Jamie's after. He wants a big fight now. Jamie, no one wants to fight him at Southern Area level. Ross was giving it all the large and then pulled out when it was offered to him. So let's see what happens for Jamie.
But Jamie said he's fighting on the 18th.
Yes, he's having a six rounder, a quick run out, keep himself active.
Who's he fighting?
There's a few names mentioned. I know Phil Williams' names is being mentioned to fight him, so maybe him, maybe someone else.
Oh, fair enough. Is it just that Jamie wants to say? Because I think Jamie would fight the winner of for the English, maybe the English titles fight. Luke Watkins against Nick. What's his surname?
Harper.
Yeah, he trains with Will Jones now.
Yes. Yeah, he's just signed with Will. Yeah, I think that's another thing. I think just Jamie wants to keep moving forwards. Obviously, he isn't in the next fight because certain things happened. But I think the plan is he'd like to get the English, but obviously if they don't want to fight Jamie when that's done, then move on and hopefully, get an intercontinental or something like that because he's definitely above Southern Area and English in my eyes.
So, do you think Jamie would beat Vidal Riley?
It's hard to say because I've not seen a lot of Vidal. Apparently, Vidal was a very good amateur, but I know what power Jamie has, and he can box as well. So I think it'd be a very good fight. I'd like to see that fight.
I reckon. Don't count Taj out because I reckon Anise could cause the upset.
Yeah, like I said, they're confident. They are very confident. You just got Vidal Riley's very quick, and so he's just got to stay out of the way. I haven't actually seen Anise in the gym, but like I said, they're all confident of going over there and pulling up an upset. So we'll see what happens.
I'm gutted I can't go to his fight because he offered me 2 tickets, but I couldn't go because I was going to Alfie, and I already said to Alfie that I was going to his fight.
Oh, no, that's nice. Yeah, I've heard he's a nice guy. He does all right with tickets, so that's good of him. And hopefully for Jab, he can come back with a win and then get a big fight after that.
Yeah, fingers crossed for him.
Exactly that, mate. Exactly that.
And then Tyler Denny v Brad Pauls.
Good fight. I mean, I think Brad would be the first to tell you weren't his best in his last performance against, was it Kelly?
Yeah,
But he's got to be at 100% on Saturday. He can't not be 100% because if he's not, Tyler will beat him. I think Brad can win, but I think Brad's got to be at 100% and he can't really put a foot wrong in that fight to be able to win. So it's
the
definitely interesting.
winners.
Like I said, I won't be watching it either.
I'm sure the winner of that Brad Pauls fight via Denny's going to fight for the British. Is Do you know if Denzel's going to vacate it or?
I think Denzel would like to stay at world European level now, but obviously it depends what comes about. So I think he'll hold on to it until he knows what his next fight is, and then it'll all go from there, I think.
Because for me, Bentley, he showed it in his last fight against Morrison that he's levels above the British.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I love Denzel. Another one of my favourites. Shown it against Morrison, shown it against that guy as well. He started. If he'd have started quicker, I think he'd have won that fight. But it's unfortunate, and it's good because you see all these fighters protecting their O and not wanting to take these fights. Denzel's done it. He boxed Felix, and now he went out and boxed that guy. I don't think he's scared now. He's had that loss, and he'll
I mean,
take whatever fight he feels he can win.
If Bentley rematched Cash, I, I wouldn't. You never know. I think Bentley might beat him in the rematch if they did.
Well, I think Cash needs to get a bit more active now, doesn't he? I think he's good. But then Denzel's definitely top of the British pyramid, 100%.
Yes, 100%. But it's just whether what's next for him and what comes like opportunities for him.
That what arises. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure it won't be long before we find out.
Who else is there? Adam Azim, who's on that bill this weekend, top of the bill. I think he's
Yeah,
got not don't know much about his opponent, but I know he's unbeaten.
I think he was just picked because Shane McGuigan. I know they offered it to a few people, Sam Maxwell and everyone. Another one on that show. I don't. It's not been broadcasted by Sky, but Razor Ali, obviously Jack's stablemate.
Oh
He's
yes, he
out.
is.
He's going to go far. He's an animal. He's been sparring with Lewis Frimpong as well. So that's going to be watch this space for a brilliant performance from Razor.
Yes, but they do like before the bell on Sky kind of thing, or like
Yeah, I don't know what he's on, whether he's on the main card or what, but he's definitely fighting. I know that.
yeah, on that. Yeah, that though that would be a good show.
Mm.
So I've got to record that the show so I can watch it when I get back, or maybe in the morning.
Yeah,
But
I might record it through some of the big fights. Yeah.
yes. Oh, and then should we set 24th of Feb? We've got I think Liam Dillon's headline, and then you've got probably co-main event Mahmood. Jordan Perkins v Rames Mahmood for the
Mm.
English title. That's a crack.
Very, very, very interesting fight. Yes, the Jordan and Rams fight is very interesting. Now, everyone I speak to says someone different. I'll do the face off of them next week, but they both feel like they got the better in the sparring. They're both very confident. You know, my one concern would have been Rams getting down to bantamweight, but I've heard that he's doing it absolutely fine. So I can't pick him. I genuinely can't sit here and tell you who I think is going to win confidently. If Jordan is allowed to do what he does, you know, and push you back and get you back on the ropes and work you, I think he'll
like
win. But
he
if
did
Rams
with
can be the
like he did with that
Ryan,
Walker.
yeah, exactly. If he boxes that fight, I think he wins. But Rams is very slick and he gets out the way and he throws good shots. So I genuinely I couldn't tell you. Obviously, I'm closer with Jordan. I spent a lot of time down edge with Will and Jordan, but Rams is a nice fella.
He is.
So I wish them both the best. I genuinely can't pick.
I should be there that night as well. Hopefully.
Yeah, I've got my tickets last week, so me and
Yeah.
Luke will be there, and I think Jack's coming as well.
Who? I forgot what was. Wait, Liam Dillon is fighting, isn't he, for the British?
Yeah, I can't say I've watched his opponent, that Dimagani, much, but I've watched Liam a lot, and again, it would be unfair of me to say, but obviously, I want Liam to win. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
same.
Liam gets the win. You know, he went away on a good win show and beat that African fella, and now he's doing it again on the Lee Eaton show. So it's big things for Liam. Hopefully, him and his team down at RJ's, Ross, Rod, and all them, they get the win that night. Fingers crossed.
Yes, that should be a good night of boxing as well. And then the 3rd of
Mm-hmm.
March is a stacked card, isn't it?
You struggle to find a better card on small hall boxing.
Yeah.
You've got the Southern Area fight. You got the British
Casey,
title, Commonwealth title.
yeah.
It's just
Obi is
it's
fighting,
unreal.
isn't he?
Obi, my man, fighting Jack McGann. He deserves this chance, Obi. Hopefully it gets made for the English, but it depends on obviously Sam.
Did you see
But
Jordan
yeah,
Gershon's got a fight against that Harry Scarf?
yes, I think Jordan wins that fight. If I'm honest,
Do you?
yeah, Harry's okay. You know, he's a good fighter, but I just think Jordan's a bit too good there. I think he's going to be too slick, and I think he'll win that.
I'm not sure that's a good fight, but I hope Jordan comes through and wins.
Yeah, you've got to respect him for taking it. What's it, 6 fights in, or 7 fights in?
It's a big jump to take from his last
Yeah,
fight.
it's a big step up from Jack Martin, but how high up is Harry Scarf? You know, he's only English champion, so
Well,
it's only one
he
step.
arguably beat Troy.
Uh, that was quite funny, that one. I don't think he might beat Troy. I think Troy was very bad that night. But I still do think Troy Fox. And if they were to box again now, Troy would take his head off.
Troy
So
would destroy him.
yeah, people have bad nights. Do you know what I mean? But I think
I was gutted for Troy against Kelly. He couldn't get in his rhythm.
no, I didn't see it. I was at York Hall, but I recorded it. But I'm watching it back because I'm good friends with Troy, and I don't want to watch it back and see him get beat. But he'll come back strong. You know, I think he's been looking at moving up to middleweight for a long time now, and I think at middleweight he'll be making a way. Yeah, he's massive at super welterweight, huge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think going up will only be a problem for everyone else in the division above.
So 3rd of March, who've you got for KCV Ejaz?
I think if Casey boxes how he boxed the second half of the last fight, he wins every round. But what Casey doesn't want to do for me is stand back and invite Ijaz on, because that's where he got done before for holding. You know, he just go with him, walk him down. If you stand and let him walk you down, you look the negative fighter. And obviously, Casey's not got the nod.
Ejaz is going to go in there practically. He's practically 2 rounds down because it's on Casey's home show, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously
so Ejaz wants to knock him out. I feel.
Yeah, I think if you're the away fighter, you've always got to look at a knockout like Obi with Jack. I think he might have to drop him at least. But I think this fight, they can't, you know, it's the 4th time now. They can't let it carry on and carry on and carry on. So I think Casey just walk him down, pick him off, slick movement, and I think he wins. But if he sits back...
If Casey walks him down, that's not... Because he'll just go into Ijaz's style. That's what happened the second time. They were both just hammering at each other. Casey's just got a box on the outside and just keep moving.
as long as he does keep moving, because this is what he didn't do at the start of the last fight, and that's where he got points taken. He was getting walked down, and then he was holding. And if he didn't lose that point, he'd have won that fight. Do you know what I mean? I
So
had it.
if he didn't drop that point, he would have won.
Yeah, I think he would have been up by a point.
Oh yeah, he would have.
I had it a draw, and that was only because of the point taken off as well. Because I had Ijaz, I think 4-2 up, and then I had it 6-4, 6-5, and then something I can't remember. But yeah, I definitely Casey won the fight, but the point taken off cost him.
Hopefully, Casey gets it done. I think he should.
Yeah, I know he's sparring Paul Roberts, and obviously he's friends with Jack. So fingers crossed he can do it.
What about Paul Roberts? Is looking good in his training, isn't he?
Looks unreal. I spoke to Max yesterday on the phone. He looks massive. Obviously, Paul's naturally, well, not naturally, but he's been boxing at super fly, and he's always been able to drop it down to fly. Same thing with Paul. I think for me, he's got an old man, Harry. He's got to hold on to him. He's got to hit him when they're in the clinch. He's got to, rough him up, stick his body in, head in, everything he can, because he's got an even bigger task. Like everything is set up that night for Harry Mullins to win. He's their golden boy. Do you know what I mean? So sadly, I think Paul will have to stop Harry to win the belt that night.
I reckon Paul could stop him.
Yeah, look, it's a big test for Harry. Obviously, the big difference here is Harry. Look, he's a much better boxer than Paul. He's a great boxer, but Paul's done 20 hard rounds with Jack, and he knows what it's like to be in the 9th round absolutely tied. No, Jack hit him with that shot in the 10th round in the last fight, and as much as Paul said it didn't hurt or anything like that, it's stunning. So Paul knows what it's like to get to that 10th round. And whether Harry's got power, we don't know. But I think Paul's just got every chance he's got of hitting him, he's got to. Whether he's holding, dig him in the ribs, because he's going to be a lot stronger than Harry on the night as well. So I think he's got to use his advantages.
He just needs to rough him up, kind of.
Exactly. If he tries and boxes him, he'll lose. And I said that to Paul as well. Look, he ain't going to listen to me, but I think they know that they've got to stick it on him. They can't do what they did with Jack in the second fight and wait for the opportunities. They've got to make the opportunities, because otherwise it will just fall away from him.
Yeah. And I don't know where he goes if he loses, really.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. I think, you lose 3 fights in a row, or draw and lose 2 fights in a row at Southern area level. There's not really anywhere else to go. Maybe away on a few big shows and fight a few super flies and bantamweights as an away fighter. But I know how much Paul wants it, and obviously I'm seeing Paul next week for sparring. So fingers crossed he gets the business done. I really do. Me and Jack will be there, and Luke supporting him that night.
Yeah. I mean, by the end of the night, I would have lost my voice, because it's just Paul, Casey, Obi's fight. Tom Brennan as well. He's in a big fight. There's just loads.
Tough fight for Tom Brennan. I really hope Tom does it. Tom's one of the good guys in boxing. Doesn't have the sponsors. He's got one sponsor, the Oxford Building Contractors. But he funds it all himself. He's done a few tickets, nothing crazy. But I really, really hope that is a tough fight for Tom.
I reckon he might, because Billy Underwood again signed with. Well,
they're both with Nielsen, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Tom is, isn't he? Yes.
Yeah, I think Billy really was looking at Southern area this fight, and I think if Tom had won his last fight, then I think maybe it would have been. I don't know if there is a Southern area champion at the weight at the minute, but I think the winner will go on and get the shot. But the same thing for Tom. If he loses, what does he do? That'll be his 2nd or 3rd loss. So it's a tough one. But hopefully he gets to win.
Tom lost to that Michael Hennessy on a few days' notice or something.
I don't think he lost that fight, to be honest with you. And I think the scorecards tell it by a point. As an away fighter, you've got to win. If not, at very least a draw.
But there's loads of fights that on that show that could steal the show.
Yeah, I think the big fight is going to be Obi and Jack. 2 big super welterweights going
that's in. That's a title eliminator, surely.
Yeah, I think they're waiting on news. I think they're waiting on whether it's going to be the final eliminator. They both won an eliminator. But I think that will still the show. They're both very big hit. Well, Obi's not known for power, but trust me, I've been in the gym with him 3 or 4 times recently, and the man is punching faster and harder than he ever has, and that's credit to Josh.
Personally, I thought he beat Jordan that fight, but it was close.
It was close. Yeah, you can't argue, but a lot of people go back to that. Obi's in a completely different setup now. He's under a new trainer. Look what he did to
The
Josh and Jack
Jarko.
Poker. Yeah, the guy at Goodwin, he dropped him. He won every round, and he is honestly he's 10 times better than he was a year ago. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on Obi at the minute, and I think he's going to do some serious business this year.
That's going to be a great fight. I can't pick a winner for half the fights.
I don't want to watch half the fights. I'll be too nervous.
Who do you think you'll be most nervous for, like on the night?
Uh, in order, I don't know. I'd say Obi because I know how much it means to him. You know, the fight with Jordan, he lost it, which he thought he won, and then that dominant performance last time out. You know, people say about his chin because he got stopped in the first round of the Ultimate Boxer tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they
I
both,
just think
but Obi probably, because in the Boxer series, you just go out swinging, really, just looking for a knockout, don't you?
exactly that. I think Obi, I'll be the most nervous about. I'm very good friends with obviously Aaron, his cutsman, and also Josh. So fingers crossed they do. I'm down there next Monday with them, so I look
They're
forward to it.
doing good, aren't they, down at that gym?
Yeah, they got some good fighters coming out of there. Stay ready. You got Stephen Lanetti, obviously Anis Taj. These are both Aaron and Josh's fighters. Freya Chambo, 15-year-old amateur, unbelievable. I'm trying to think now. Mitchell Smith coming back. Um, he's got Valentine Mogos Aaron, Nathaniel Brown, and then Josh has got a few more, obviously. Ollie Duffy and Chef Khan.
Oh,
Sorry if I
yeah.
missed anyone.
What about, so should we move on now to talk about the 11th of
Yeah,
March? So, well,
yeah, great card.
first fight we should talk about. I'm feeling a little bit nervous for Ross McGuigan because I'm scared for him that he's going to get stopped.
I watched Lewis Oakford spar the other day with Jamie, and he is throwing uppercuts that I've never seen before. Like
He's a
even Jamie said,
beast.
the uppercut he threw. I can't see it going past 2 rounds. Once Lewis gets hold of him, I think he'll drop it. If Ross boxes how he did against Vidal, hands down, moving forwards, he will be face down on the canvas about 3 seconds later.
Yeah, because Lewis is an absolute monster.
Yeah, 6'5", cruiserweight, absolutely massive.
Did you
I
see
can't
his
wait.
debut?
Yeah, he done well, done really well.
That
And
was
who
that
takes them
was,
fights?
and he was in the away corner. Is he in the away corner this time?
I don't think so. I think they're both Goodwin fighters. So I think Ross is on the card as the name, but I don't think that matters. I think Lewis is going to sell a shitload of tickets, and the place will be rocking for him. I can't wait for it.
So I think Lewis is going to win in 2 rounds as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. What will you say to Ross if Lewis does knock him out in 2 rounds?
I don't know because he won't be able. I won't be able to speak to him.
No, that's fair enough.
What
Who,
other fight? Conor Adaway via Lewis Frimpong. Now that could go either way.
it's hard because obviously I'm good friends with Lewis. Obviously, Andy sponsors me as coach of Old Gym. Lewis is slept on big time in this fight. Lewis is so quick with his hands, and I know that don't mean a lot, but for a little man with such big arms and a big, he's massive. If you see him at the minute, he is ripped to shreds. He really does look good at the weight. And if Conor does what he says he was going to do and stands in the middle and fights, I think that's the wrong game plan. I think if Conor boxes, it's going to be hard for Lewis. But I think if Conor stands in the middle, it's going to be easy for Lewis. So it's very interesting. Obviously, I'm going to say Lewis. He's my boy, but it's a good fight, definitely.
Um, I think Conor, but you just never know.
Well, Conor's booked in a fight 3 weeks later already, which is crazy in my opinion.
Do you think he's getting a little carried away if he's got that fight in?
Yeah, I see he put something on Instagram. He said, booked in a fight in my hometown to bring the belt back to 3 weeks later.
Of course he's got to be. Well, of course he's confident because every fighter's got to be confident.
Yeah, be confident, but no man in this world books a fight 3 weeks after 10 horrible rounds for a title. I think it's all for show, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Nothing against Conor as a person. Obviously, look, I met him. Things nice. Obviously, I've got my man in this fight, and hopefully they both come out safe, and hopefully Lewis is holding that belt at the end of it.
Yeah. And with who else? We got Mikey Saki v Sajid Abid. That's a great fight again.
Yeah, I rate Mikey Saki. I speak to him on Instagram a couple of times. He's so slick. That's a brilliant fight. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Um, but yeah, March 11th is a great card. Brilliant card.
I reckon Sajid might beat Mikey, but again, that's a great fight.
Yeah, yeah. Be a good solid 10 rounds.
I think
100%.
Mitchell Fearson, if you know who that is, he's fighting I forgot who he was against.
Amir.
The guy
Yeah,
Poochie got robbed of. Yeah.
Balraj Singh. Just I'm not going to say anything on that one because I'll get myself in trouble. But this is the problem with boxing at the minute. These prospects are losing to journeymen quite clearly, and then they're getting a Southern Area eliminator. I disagree with it, but the less said on that, the better. That's no dig at Balraj. That's just digs at boxing in general.
Mm-hmm.
How you can beat a journeyman, well, draw with a journeyman, but lose every round in this case, and then get a title fight or a final eliminator is just it's ludicrous, and it downplays the Southern Area title in my opinion.
I don't know what to say on that one either. I'm not. Do you know Paul Brown v Jack Martin? I mean, not
I've
Jack
seen
Martin, Jack Owen. Do you know?
Owen. Yeah, I've seen Jack fight a few times. Again,
Again, Jack
it's
Owen drew to Poochie twice.
Yeah, Poochie had one leg, one fight. Look, fair play to both. They've been given an opportunity and they've taken it. But I think when you look at some of the other Southern Area title fights that you get out there, Jordan versus Ryan Walker, Jack Paul Roberts, Jamie Smith Mendez, Mark Little Mendez, I think, sometimes they rush to get the Southern Area title put out. And I think an eliminator would have done them both good first. But look, listen, you can't complain. They're both all right. So it'll be a decent fight for them both. And again, may the best man win.
Yeah. Um, I know you haven't got long, so we'll just quickly talk about Tom Ansell v Dennis Didakayev. Is it? I can't pronounce the surname, but I think it's that.
Yeah, that's it. Denikayev, or however you say it. Great fight. Look, I've not actually ever seen Tom fight. I've seen bits of him, on YouTube. Obviously, he trains with a good friend of mine, Ticey. Um, it's a tough fight. Dennis is very good. I knew Dennis would win the title when he had his fight,
What,
but
against
I think this is a
ID?
real step. Yeah, I just think that was the wrong fight for ID. I think Dennis was younger, a lot younger. He was in great shape. I like ID, but Tom isn't like anyone Dennis has fought before. Tom's going to push you back. Tom's going to rough you up, and hopefully for Pug Jim and for Tony Peel and all the guys in that stable, hopefully Tom comes back with a win. But it's a very good fight. It will go 10 rounds, 100%.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, I can't see it. I think they're gonna. There might be a few drops in there, but I can't see it being a stoppage. I think they're both gonna lay everything on it, and I just think it's going to be a close points decision. But again, Tom Ansell left Goodwin, so he's
Oh, did
he's
it?
really he's probably 3-4 rounds down before that fight started.
Why is he three and why is he 4 rounds down?
Well,
Not
he's the
two.
away fight for one, and obviously he parted ways with Goodwin, which hopefully doesn't affect it. But Dennis is like a golden boy for them, so hopefully it's scored fairly, and may the best man get the win. Hopefully it's Tom coming in with a belt that night.
That's a good fight. And also Peter v Ryan, that's a great fight.
Yeah, speaking with Ross, Ryan's trainer last night, they're trying to not they're keeping Ryan grounded this fight, letting him just concentrate on the training. And I think Ryan will come out victorious. I speak to Peter on Instagram, might be doing some shirts with him and whatnot. But I think they've boxed before, haven't they?
Yeah,
So again,
Ryan
it's a
won,
good
but
fight.
arguably, again, that was close.
I haven't seen it, and I can't really. I've seen Ryan box once, and I've not seen Peter box, so
I can
can't
send
really
you
comment.
their fight because it's on Goodwin's YouTube if you want.
I might have a little look at it, but again, I speak to Ross quite a lot. So yeah, I'd maybe like to see Ryan come away with that.
Yeah. And anybody else you want to speak about before you go?
We've got big Jamie Smith on the 18th as well. He's out, which we spoke about at the start. Who else is fighting? There's a few others, I
Jerome,
believe.
isn't he?
Jerome Campbell, stay ready, is back. Big fight. He's got a tough fight. Daryl Tapuma ain't no mug. So I think the plan is for them guys to get the win there and then go on to Southern Area middle of the year.
I think Shockey Khan's on that as well.
Yes, he is. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's in the same night. So big night for that, Jim. Big night.
Yes.
But no, there's no one else. I don't think. Just all the guys that Evolve, they're all fighting out soon. So good luck to them. Thank you to Andy for backing me. Same as Hunters Weatherby and Forrestal and Sons. But mate, no, that's it for me. I think.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the weekend, mate.
Yeah, I'll see you Saturday, fan. Keep smashing it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. Bye.